Yamada. I used to be the executive director of PACE for many years. And right now, I am a professional in residence for one of the PACE programs. And I look forward to working with students. I've always enjoyed that, and I want to continue to do it. My background's pretty eclectic. I graduated with a degree in travel industry management. I went to work for the Marriott on Maui after I graduated from UH. And I had the opportunity to transfer from Maui to Silicon Valley. That kind of was an eye-opening experience because I only planned to stay on the mainland for 2 years, and I ended up staying for 17 and got into the technology industry right at the time of the second gold rush, really, which is when personal computers, laptops, the internet all were born during that time. Went from the hotel industry into the technology industry after getting an MBA from San Jose State, and kind of lived the dream of the startups, the IPOs, and came back to Hawaii in 2002 and have been associated with PACE and trying to help with entrepreneurship and helping students, make their entrepreneurial dreams come true since then. So, the advice that I give students is don't plan things too tightly. For me, I got my degree in travel industry management, but I did that for the first 5 years of my career, and I haven't looked back to that industry since. But you take what you learn through all your experiences, and you build it, and then you take advantage of opportunities that become available. When I graduated from UH, who knew there was going to be a PC industry or the internet? That's how old I am. But look at where we are today. There's no way I could have planned for that. So really what you have to do is build a skill set that enables you to take advantage of opportunities that become available when they present themselves. So that's what I tell students. So PACE programs, I think, are under students and outsiders are under the assumption that we're here to help create businesses. And yes, that's one small aspect of what we do. But what we're really trying to do is get students to think entrepreneurially. And in my opinion, that is one of the biggest skill sets you can learn when you go into any sort of work in the 21st century. You have to be a problem solver. Everything is changing so quickly that you have to just kind of roll with it, and you have to be comfortable with change. You have to be comfortable with a new technology that's coming out that's going to be in direct competition to what you're doing right now, or another way to sell your product. How do you take advantage of that? Should you take advantage of that? And those are all the types of things that we're teaching with our PACE programs, is how do you problem solve? How do you take advantage when opportunity presents itself? How do you go through the process of rating what you should do, which direction you should go in? Because the way I put it is, the world is so much gray now. And what I find, students in general are very uncomfortable in gray. And because when you're graded in school, it's black and it's white. You're going to get a good grade because you did what the teacher wanted, or you totally missed the mark. You have to be really comfortable in the in-between, where you don't know what is truly the right answer. There is no right answer, but you can't just keep waiting around for the right answer to present itself. You have to be able to move quickly with the best information you have available. And that's what we're trying to teach you, that there is no perfect answer, but the worst thing you can do is not do anything at all. So in the years that I spent in Silicon Valley, it was during a time of great change, great upheaval in business, in any industry that you look at. There was great upheaval. I was involved with a lot of different startups that enabled me to just be able to think more entrepreneurially, to take greater risks, to try different things. And then when I moved back to Hawaii in 2002, it was a very different culture from Silicon Valley, and things moved slower, and people were not as comfortable having different points of view. And I just felt that that's going to work against us if we don't learn how to have more of a voice and everybody bring their collective knowledge together and try and work through collaborative thinking and creative thinking, a better way to do things. So that's one of the biggest reasons why I decided to, join forces with PACE and become a greater part of that mission. So I would say that of the students that we touch with our programs, 95% are going to go work for companies that are already in existence right now. What I'd like to see is employers looking to see if you have that sort of entrepreneurial experience and problem solving and want to hire those people. So, not only are they adept at working in teams of interdisciplinary folks from accounting and engineering and sales, you're all working together collaboratively on different ways of doing business and solving your customers' problems. That is something that I'd like to see our students be able to have as far as their skill set. When I was talking about, building your skill set, that's one thing that I think students can learn through our PACE programs while they're here at UH. And I've talked to many employers, and that's something that they want to see in their employees, not just workers who are like, okay, what do you want me to do next? But, their employees are people who are contributing to solving problems. The thing that motivates me most is really students and their excitement that they show. And the fact that they don't know what they can't do yet. So everything's possible, right? And I love that. And so how do I help them, fulfill their dreams? And there's so much blue sky ahead. And I just love that part versus, the older you get, your world, interestingly, becomes smaller, I think, because you're less open to taking risks. And the beauty of being young is just you go and you take risks because the consequences are not as large as if you failed when you're an adult and you have a mortgage and a family and a car loan and everybody's counting on you. Take risks when you're young and just go for it. And that's what I love about working with students. So interestingly, the PIR program was created when I was the director. And there were so many professionals, and Hawaii is a wonderful place. Everyone wants to help and give back to the university and to our students. Every time I've asked people to help, no one has said no. Everyone wants to know, how can I help? And so when I was the director, I really admired the PIRs who came in and were able to lend their expertise to students. And I saw the value the students got out of it. So now that I'm retired from the director job, I was like, well, you better put your mouth where your intent was. So that's why I decided to become a PIR. Okay, all right. So I did give this some thought. So the one rule that I would like to institute is for everybody to just be kind to each other and respectful. I think a lot of the problems we have in the world is just that people don't understand everybody else's differences. And so that leads to, animosity. I'm right, you're wrong. And again, it goes back to the whole gray area of life. There is no right and wrong. Everyone has differences of opinion. And that's fine. That's what makes the world a beautiful place. I don't want a world where everybody thinks like I do. It sounds really boring to me. So everybody just be kind and respectful to one another. That's what I'd want. All right. When I was a kid, my dream job was to be a veterinarian. Because isn't that what every kid wants to be, is a veterinarian? Okay, so how does that compare to the job I have right now? I don't think it compares much. You know what? I thought about that question. There's just so many. what I'm particularly interested right now is really strong women and what strong women have been able to achieve, because it's been really an uphill battle. And so when you look at people, I mean, like my mother, a lot of my friends who are in the business community who are reaching the highest levels in running companies, I really admire them. You look at someone like Michelle Obama, Oprah Winfrey, people like that. And I think the common denominator is that they push themselves, so you have to challenge your comfort zone. And they do that. And they do that over and over and over. And that's what I'd like to encourage, not just women, but men and women, to not get stuck in a one place, to constantly push your comfort zone and try and be curious and try different things. And don't let your own insecurities limit what it is you can do. So I kind of get confused about all the generations, but when I looked it up, it was like, okay, that's your generation or generation that's attending college right now. And I think the thing that's impressed me the most is the resiliency, number one. I mean, you guys have gone through COVID, homeschooling, not having graduations, a very unpredictable future. And to be able to come through that and still thrive is one thing that I'm tremendously impressed with. The second thing is I find that you guys are really trying to fix all the things that I've broken in my generation, because we didn't think that it could be broken. We didn't think there was going to be all this differentiation in how much people make, and homelessness and global warming, and but now it's all come home to roost, and really it's up to you guys to fix what we broke. But we didn't do it on purpose necessarily. We just didn't know. Okay, so I thought about that question. No. I don't know. It's maybe the accidental entrepreneur. I'm not quite sure. I don't know what the name would be, but it's you can do anything you want to do if you put your mind to it. That would be kind of the story, is to just try your best. You don't have to be the best at anything. Just be above average, and you'll be fine. And just follow where your journey takes you, I think. That's worked for me throughout my life. And I think it's good advice. And that's kind of advice that I give to students who come talk to me about, in PIR sessions, or just people that, just have questions. There's a lot of anxiety from students, especially when they're about to graduate. And a lot of them are, I don't know if I should take this job, or, is this what I want to do for my life? And nothing is forever. It's like, is this job going to build your skill sets with skills that you think you're going to need down the line? If yes, then take the job. If in 18 months, 2 years, it's not for you, change job. There's nothing to say that you have to stay in this job for the next 20, 30, 40 years. It's not that world anymore. So don't be afraid to make mistakes. Again, black and white, right? It's like, it's not black and white, it's gray. Take it if you think it's the best that you can do at this point, and build upon it as you move forward. My soundtrack song at my Hall of Honor was the Indiana Jones theme song. So that would be the soundtrack of my life. Da 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 da.
Oh, that's perfect. That's hilarious. There's just some quick fire questions. Just are you an early riser or a night owl?
I have shifted to an early riser.
Okay, gotcha. And do you prefer the Mauka or Makai side? And why?
Mackay. I'm a Mackay person. I've always had a special relationship with the ocean. It just calms me. I just love it. To see sunrises or sunsets off the ocean is just very cool.